Hello, honors algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and I'm making a video since many of you will be away at the musical performance on Thursday. All right, it's how to factor trinomials when a is not 1. Now, remember, this is standard form of a quadratic, ax squared plus or minus bx plus or minus c, and you're going to hear me refer to a, b, and c often. Okay. Now, just like yesterday, I'm going to look for a GCF, and I think I found one. I think 2 is the GCF of this trinomial. So I'm going to factor it out, and I'll get a 2x squared plus a 13x plus a 20. And then yesterday, what I did was I listed the factors of 20, right? 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 3 doesn't go in, 4 goes in 5 times. But since a is not 1, I have to list the factors of a as well, which would be 1 and 2. Now here's where it gets a little bit trickier than yesterday, not quite as simple. I need to take one of the factors of a, multiply it by one of the factors of c. Then I have to multiply their partners together. When I do that, when I get the two products, I'm going to add. Why am I adding? Because c is positive. And I have to add to get positive 13. So I'm going to do a little guess and check here and see if I can come up with 13. And so I'm seeing that 2 times 4 is 8, positive 8. And then 1 times 5, positive 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. So here's how this factors, and you got to be careful with this part here, okay? So I've got the 2 out front. I'm going to have two quantities, okay? And I'm going to draw these two little loops here. Oop, and boom. All right, now I'm going to need a 1x and a 2x. Right, I got those from right here, 1x and 2x. What did I multiply 1 by? Well, I multiplied it by 5. So I'm going to follow this little loop, and it's a positive 5, so I'm going to put a positive 5 there. What did I multiply 2 by? Well, I multiplied by 4. And so I'm going to follow that little loop, and I'll have a plus 4 there. And there you go. That is factored completely. Those little loops don't count in the answer, but that's what they are. All right, so let's try another problem. Okay, first thing I do is find a GCF. Looks like my GCF will have an x attached to it. And I'm thinking of 3. I'm thinking 3x is going to be my GCF. So I'm going to get an 8x cubed. I'm going to get a positive 10x minus 3. Going to list the factors of 3, 1 and 3. List the factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. Now I'm still going to multiply them together, you know, a factor of 8 with a factor of 3, and multiply their partners together. But this time I'm going to subtract. And I want to subtract to get a positive 10 as my difference. How about if I do 4 times 3? And that'll be a 12. And then if I do 2 times 1, that'll be 2. Well, I would think I would want the 2 to be negative and the 12 to be positive so I can get a positive 10 for an answer. Now that I've done that, I am ready to factor this. So this is going to equal, of course, the GCF is out front. I'm going to have two quantities, right? And remember, we're going to have these little guides, one there and one there. Okay, I have no idea why it's changing colors on me. It's acting quite strange. All right, so I'm going to have a 2x and a 4x. Where did I get those? From here. So I'm going to get, oh, I made a silly mistake there, didn't I? I didn't catch that. That shouldn't be, sorry, that should be an x squared. It's not going to change things dramatically, but don't want to mess you guys up. Sorry about that. Okay. So back here, I'm going to have a 2x and a 4x. Well, what did I multiply the 2 by? I multiplied it by 1, except I want it to be negative 2. So I'm going to go to 2 here. I'm going to put a 1 there. But to get negative 2, I need a negative 1 there. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Okay, what did I multiply 4 by? 3. I want to get a positive 12, so I'm going to multiply by a positive 3. And there you go. We just factored it completely. Okay, another example here. Same thing. Going to GCF it. Well, I'm thinking I'm definitely going to pull out an x squared. And maybe a 5. I'm thinking 5 is going to work. I'll know in a second if I didn't get the largest GCF. All right, so 75. I think that's going to be 15 x squared minus, let me see here, 130 divided by 5. I think that's going to be 26 x plus 8. All right, list the factors of 8. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. List the factors of 15. 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Now, I'm going to multiply them together. When I multiply the products together, I'm going to add. Why am I adding? Because C is positive. C is negative, I subtract. And I'm hoping, or trying, or going to get negative 26. If you didn't catch this yesterday, I'm going to be, both signs are going to be the same. Both are going to be negative. Yeah, I'm going to be adding two negatives together. All right, so look at this. Look at this. What about 5 times 4? And that would be 20. Remember, I said I want them both to be negative. And I'm going to do 3 times 2 to get me a negative 6. So I am ready to factor. I'm going to have a 5x squared. There's going to be two quantities. A lead term in each quantity is going to be a 3x and a 5x. Then the 3 got multiplied by a 2. Let me make my little loops. So 3 is getting multiplied by 2, but I want it to be negative. And then 5x is going to be multiplied by 4. And again, I want a negative 20. And there you go. All right. Try this one on your own. I'll tell you right off the bat, there's no GCF to worry about. The GCF is 1. You don't have to worry about it. Try it on your own. Pause the video. Give it a shot. Okay, here comes my solution. Well, since the GCF is 1, I'm not going to waste my time writing it out, pulling it out. I'm going to get 2 times 3. I'm going to get 1 and 35. And then I'm going to get 3, 4, 5, and 7, and I'm done. With my products, I'm going to subtract them to get negative 11. Let's see, 15 minus 4, no, that won't do it. 42 and 5, no. Oh, wait, how about 3 times 7 is 21, and 2 times 5 is 10, right? Now, do I want 21 minus 10, or do I want 10 minus 21? Well, I want negative 11. So I want a negative 21, sorry about that, and a positive 10. That would get me a negative 20, or a negative 11. So let me factor. Now, the GCF is 1, so I'm just going to have the two quantities. The lead terms are the 2x and the 3x. My little loops. 2 got multiplied by 5. I needed a positive 10. I'll multiply by 5, and it'll have to be a positive. 3 got multiplied by 7. There must be a 7 here. And then the 7 needs to be negative, and there you go. That is completely factored. All right, that's it for the video. We'll spend a little more time on this. Got any questions, let me know. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.